In this video, we're going to focus on how you can create a very basic ABC analysis chart here, where we have these nice lines here that will basically categorize the block, and we have these labels A, B, and C that will categorize as well the products or the bars that are in that segment. So let's start to look how we can do this. So let's start to look how to create a basic analysis chart in Chartjs. For this, we need to get first our default code, which you can find on chartjs3.com getting started. This specific link, which you can find as well in the description box. Once you're here, scroll down and copy this entire chunk of code here. There we are, copy this. And if you want to understand what this code means, just watch this video here. So then I'm going to just put this all in here, cut this out, and then what I will do is I'll just enlarge the size here. I'll just make this 80%. Scroll down here, or sorry, before I scroll down there, I need to change the title here. Save that, refresh. Alright, so now we have a bar chart. What I will do with a bar chart, because basically an ABC analysis chart would be based from 0 to 100%, but it's cumulative, so it means it calculates it calculates it all together. However, I'll just make something very simple here. This is a basic one. So I'm going to just put in here 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And of course, this is of course not really 100% accurate, but what is most important here is that we're going to create these lines. And we're going to assume that the first three here, this would be like our 20-80 rule, where these three would signify the most profit of the business. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to make these lines. We want to make sure that they are all separated or categorized nicely. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a plugin. It's a comma here, just under the options, as you can see here. I'm going to say plugins, bracket, and then here I'm going to say ABC. Very simple. Copy this, because this is what we call an object or constant object. So I'm going to say here constant ABC equals this, and what I want to do here at least is to say here / ABC plugin block, so we know what this is. And I'm going to say ID equals ABC, comma, and then what we can say here is when would we like to draw. So this is the drawing time. In this case, I want to create these lines, but these lines should be before we draw the data set. So first the lines, and then the data sets would be eventually shown. So we're going to say here before data sets draw, and here we're going to say chart object arguments and the plugin option, although you can use also options, doesn't matter. So then what I want to do here is object destructuring. If you don't know what's an object destructuring, I'm going to recommend you to get in the description box and look for the video understanding Chartjs with object destructuring. So what I'm going to say here, brackets equals chart, and then what I'm going to grab here is let's see, we need a few items. We're going to get here, most likely we will need the CTX, because we need to draw on the chart. We need to have here the, I guess we can do the chart area. We will be needing some parts of the chart area, so we're going to say top, bottom, left, right, and then what I can do here, comma, scales, say X and Y, and we might need even the data, so I'm going to put in data as well. So once I have this, I'm going to say here ctx.save to save all items above. And once I did that, what I want to do now is start to draw the item. So I'm going to create a basic color for these lines. So I'm going to say here ctx.stroke style to indicate the color, and here we're going to say here RGBA, and then we're going to put in here the color. Let's make this very simple, 0,00, and then here number 1. So basically a solid black color. So then what I want to do here is I want to draw now the line. And where do I want to start the line? Basically I want to start the line here somewhere on the left side, and then go and match exactly the top of this bar. And then once we're here, we're going down, and this is basically categorized as the box A, and this the next one would be box B, and then finally box C. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to say here ctx.begin path to make sure that we create a new shape and everything else is disconnected from this shape. So then what I'm going to say here is ctx.move to. What I want to do now is to define the starting point, which I need to have x and y value, and the move to defines that. In this case, I want to be on the left side here from the chart area, but also I want to make sure I am matching the height exactly to this item here, this bar here. So how do I do this? Well, we're going to say here first of all left, and then we're going to say here for the y, and this is the reason why we have this here, and also the data here. So we're going to say y, and then say here dot get pixel for value, and the value that I want is in my data. Where exactly in the data? Well, if you scroll up here, we are in the data here, the data constant or data object, and then here in this case we want to have the index number 2 because it's 0, 1, 2. That's this one here, number 9. That's Wednesday. So I'm going to say here value, and I'm going to say here get this, and I say data dot data set index 0, and then here data index number 2. So you're wondering why data 0, data set 0, because we only have one data set here. In this data set index 0, we need to have the second index of this data. Alright, so now we have this here. And then, oh, I start already far too fast, I realize. No, sorry, I'm correct here, because this is the height. So then, what I want to do is, of course, to do is ctx.line to, and that is basically the drawing of that, or the preparation of it. This one is defining the starting point of the dot, and this one is here drawing or preparing to draw the line. So here, what I want to do here now is instead of left, I want to go to basically this point here. This is index number 2. However, if we're going here in a bar chart, index number 2 is considered the center here, and this here is considered 0.5. So basically this is 2 and this is 2.5, and here we have 1.5. But of course I'm going to show it to you so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to say here x dot get pixel for value, and here in this case we just need index number 2. So you guys can put in here number 2, that's no problem. But later on we will have number 2.5, but I'm going to show it to you. Comma, and where do I want to move it towards? Here. That will mean that I don't have to move anything up or down. So if I copy this, put that in there, we should have this line ready. See, if I do now ctx.stroke to draw the item, save, refresh, there we are. As you can see here, this line is just hitting the center of this bar, which is officially considered index number 2. So that's why I need here 2.5, then we hit this side of this segment here. So now from here, just what I want next is to put a line down to the bottom. So what I'm going to do here is to add up a new line. I'm going to put it in here, and then we have to figure out now, this is the correct location, or is it? We have to go here, we want to go down. So this starting point is basically from here, that's the left position, or the vertical. So vertically we are correct, or sorry, horizontally we're correct, but vertically we need to go down. So this here is the bottom of the chart area, so we can just define here bottom. And make sure you spell it correctly, save, refresh. There we are. So now we have this here, and what we could do now, because this is just fine, but maybe undesirable, just for one reason. If I have another item, do I need to copy this? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function out of it, and we can call this our box or something like that. You can give it anything you want, and what we're going to do is we're going to prepare all of these parameters here nicely. So we're going to put this all together. There we are. And then I'm going to say here we have two items. We have the index, that is basically this one here, and then we have here as well the number itself, that's this one here, and this number is what we can call maybe the ending point or something like that. So I'll just call it end. So once we have this, I can copy this, put this in here, and just say here index number 2, just this one here, and for this I'm going to copy these numbers here. So basically it could also be 2 here, but you have to fine tune this here, because then you have to make sure that these match correctly. But this is probably an easier way. So I'm going to grab this index, put it here, put it here, and then here I'm going to get the end value, put it in here and there. Save, refresh, there we are. So now we have this, and this looks quite nice. So what I want to do now is, because what we really did is visually we didn't change much, but behind the scenes we did a lot. Because why did we do this? Because now we can just create another box easily from this. We can say here instead of number 2, well, let's say we want to start here, or ending would be here number 5. 5 would be index 4. So we say here 4 and 4.5. If I save this, refresh, there we are. And now finally we can do the last one here. We can copy this. And then this should be 6 and 6.5. If I save, refresh, there we are. So you might see here we're missing one part of the line here because it's clipped off. So that is no problem. We can solve that by just reducing 1 pixel on our horizontal level here. So we can say here -1, and then here so -1. But you will see it will be not properly aligned. Well, here it's fine, but this one is just 1 pixel off, which is fine, quite acceptable because it's so tiny difference. Anyway, what I want to do more is, because you might say, well, hold on, the ABC analysis doesn't work like this, because it should be the C. Well, basically this is box number C. We need to get these labels. The C box should be the very top because it will cover everything, which is correct. That is the case. But of course, normally this would be cumulative and it will calculate, and these last values should be 100% or the very top of the chart. So in this case, we don't have that because I just make a very basic sample here. So just to be clear on that one. What I do want to do here is the following. Is I want to make sure that we name these. This is box A, which is our most valuable items. Basically what the analysis indicates is if you have this box A, make sure that the box A products or items are always in stock. It's especially for inventory, or these are the most important products to have in store. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put in here is a very simple text label. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say ctx dot, and I'm going to say here font. We're going to define the font. So we're going to say ctx.font equals, is a string value 12 pixels, or let's make this bold, 12 pixels. And then font family size is, font family is sans serif. So once we have this, what I want to do next one is ctx dot, and then what I want to do here is maybe give it a color. Well, that's alright. I guess the color would be quite decent. Well, we can do a color here. Fill style. And what I will do is I will grab the official color, which is of the labels here, which is a slightly grayish color. So I say RGBA 102, 102, 102. And here, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 0.5 officially, but I will just make this solid 1. So once I have this, we just have the color, but we have not the text. So now I'm going to put in the text here. To do the text, I'm going to say ctx dot, and I'm going to say here, what is the term here? It's fill text, that's the term. And then I'm going to put in here text. So let's say here hello. Then I'm going to here x and y variable. So for this, we need to really look at how will we position this, or where would I like to place the text. For now, I'm just going to put in 10, and I'm going to say here 10. Just for now. If I save this, refresh, it will be just here, and it probably overlaps multiple times because it's just on the same position. What I want to do is I want to push this down to whatever our index is here. So we're going to grab this index, and I guess we can grab here maybe this and just put that in there. Save that, refresh. Alright, so interesting, we are moving far too much. So what I want to do here is probably do maybe something else. I guess what will make more sense is to put it here on the left side, but of course the vertical level should be appropriate. So we're going to say here left, save, and then here we need to look at the x over the y value, the vertical value, and for that I guess we could just grab this item here. Let's grab this item, put that in here. Now you have the bracket, save, refresh. Alright, so now we get this, but of course look at this, this doesn't look very well. So what I want to do is I want to push it a little bit down. And how much we can push down? Well, we can just add up maybe 10 pixels, or we can just grab the top item here. We have this top amount of pixels that will be the equal pixels that will go down. So what are they going to do here? Plus top, or you can say plus 10 pixels, doesn't matter. If I do this, look at that, there we are. So the next thing what I want to do is I want to move away from the baseline here on the y-axis or the plot line. So what I'm going to say here, plus 10 pixels, save, refresh. There we are. So now we have this. What I want to do here now, of course, is give it a proper text. So I'm going to say here, we can say here, this will be the text or the label. Let's give it the label. And I'm going to say here, comma, label. And then here, of course, we can start to work on it. And I can say here as a string value. And then I'm going to say here, a products or products A, doesn't matter. Products, a products, I guess product A is maybe better, which is basically a category of best-selling products. Product B is a category of medium best-selling products, and product C will be probably an item to consider maybe to remove, or don't spend too much time on these products because they're not that profitable compared to the others. So this is basically the way we create a very simple ABC analysis chart. So if you enjoyed this video and maybe you want to advance this even more, because you can do more with it. For example, by clicking on this and then get more deeper details of the products here. In that case, I'm going to recommend you a specific video series, which is creating an advanced drill down bar chart with Chartjs, which is a very interesting one where you can click on and you get the drill down information of the bar details that you clicked on.